Welcome YouTube world. Welcome back to Nets at 27. This is my sports channel. Today is January 23rd, 2023. The name of this video is Should Shannon Sharpe Have Apologized? The name of this video today is Should Shannon Sharpe Have Apologized? As y'all know, this past Friday night, the Lakers played the Memphis Grizzlies at LA. Shannon Sharpe went to the game with his peeps during halftime as Grizzlies walking off, or during the game. Shannon Sharpe was running his mouth trying to talk shit to Dillon Brooks, who was guarding LeBron James. Started running his mouth, said, "Oh, you can't guard LeBron, he's too big for you." And he was told to shut the fuck up. And he was told, "Fuck you." And he responded as well, fuck you. That's what he told the Memphis player, whatever. And then, later during halftime, the Grizzlies, Steven Adams, wanted to see Shannon. He's the starting center for the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja Morant's father was in the audience, and it was a big hubbub. Wasn't no punches thrown, but a lot of words said, a lot of heated words back and forth. And so that's what happened Friday. And and there was some history in the past year where Shannon Sharpe made some comments about the Memphis Grizzlies running their mouth, saying they're this and that, and they haven't won no championships at all. At all. They won no championships. And having said all that, that's where the history of bitterness came from between Shannon Sharpe and the Memphis Grizzlies. Obviously, Shannon Sharpe is on FS1 on Undisputed with Skip Bayless, and people watch his show. People do watch his show. It's a very popular show. I'm sure a lot of NBA players, NFL players watch that show. And Shannon Sharpe is very loud. He has a loud mouth and a loud voice, and he's very opinionated. He doesn't hold back. In my opinion, Shannon Sharpe goes overboard. He runs his mouth too much. He's a fanboy. He's not professional. He's not objective. He acts like a little child, and he's in his 50s. He's an older man who should know better, but he can't check himself. He can't. He just can't restrain his mouth. Unless Skip Bayless going at his ass. That's the only time he can restrain his mouth. But anyway, that's what took place over the weekend. And so Shannon Sharpe was defending his right to say what he had to say. And, to some point, I agree with what he say. But at the same time, if you know the other team that's watching you, that watch your show, know that you're in the audience, and they hear you even start chirping and running your mouth, somebody going to check you. You should know that's going to happen. You 50 plus years old. You're a former NFL player. You should know the hostility that's going to come back at you. That's why you shouldn't even open your mouth. You should just sit there and be quiet, watch the game. Just be and also don't be near the Memphis side of the stadium. Be on the LA Lakers side of the stadium. The game is at LA. Why are you in the Memphis section? But anyway, Shannon not very smart. But anyway, eventually that's what happened. It boiled over. Some words were said, right before the halftime and everything. And eventually Shannon Sharpe, because he couldn't keep his mouth shut, was told to leave the arena and whatnot. But to my surprise, today Shannon Sharpe actually came out on his show, at the start of his show on Undisputed, and he gave a statement. And he gave a lengthy apology to the organization of the Memphis Grizzlies, the LA Lakers, FS1. He gave a lot of apologies out today, for his behavior. Didn't see that coming. Shannon Sharpe seemed like a very prideful dude. But he actually came out and apologized. I was surprised. And I'm sure a lot of you were surprised. Came out and apologized, for causing a disturbance and things like that. It said that that's not what he represent and things like that. And he apologized to Dillon Brooks, who he initially started talking shit to. He apologized to John Moran, John Moran's father as well, and the Memphis Grizzlies organization, and to FS1. So y'all can see his apology. It's online. Y'all can just Google Shannon Sharpe apology. Y'all see the full-length statement that he gave. And I just want to give my take on his apology and should he apologize. Now, this like 2-3 days later, because the game was on Friday night. I felt Shannon Sharpe should have apologized the very next day, in my opinion, because here's the deal. Here's the deal. The reason why Memphis players already felt a certain way about Shannon Sharpe because of what Shannon Sharpe said about the Memphis Grizzlies organization and their players over, I think it's been about a month ago, where he made comments on the Memphis Grizzlies, chirping a lot. No, they ain't won nothing. Da da da. You know, some players of Memphis were speaking kind of boldly. I can't remember exactly what they said, but they would have given the impression that they're a championship team. But Shannon Sharpe was saying, y'all ain't won nothing. Stop talking. Okay, that's what Shannon Sharpe initially said. And so that the players heard that. And so it just made things worse when Shannon Sharpe was at the LA game supporting LeBron James, which is he is a LeBron James fanboy. He's a supporting LeBron James and start talking shit to the man that was guarding LeBron James, which is Dylan Brooks. So saying, oh, you LeBron too big for you. You can't guard LeBron, you know. And, you know, the player said, F you, or whatever. And Shannon Sharpe said, F you back. Whatever. Be that as it may, Shannon Sharpe should have kept his mouth shut to begin with. Not necessarily when he criticized the Memphis Grizzlies back a month ago when they were talking and things like that. He had a right to say that because he's on his own show. So he can, him and Skip, that's their show. So he can say that. He can say that if he's asked a question or the Memphis Grizzlies talking too much, he can give his honest opinion and say that. He's entitled because that's his show. That he's on his show. So he can say that. He can say they ain't won nothing. They need to be quiet. They need to stop talking. He's in his right to say that. I applaud him for that. He is in his right to say that, and I agree with him. However, when you go to the game now the spotlight is on you because now the players see, oh, that big mouth Shannon Sharpe, he's in the audience tonight. He better keep his mouth shut. We're going to rag his ass. That's what the younger players are going to say. Or and even some of John Morant people and other Memphis player families and friends who's at the game. They know you, they see you there, and they just waiting for you to open your mouth so they can just come at you. They waiting for you to open your mouth so they can come at you. And what did you do? You opened your mouth. Well, you should have just sat there, watched the game, and kept your mouth shut. But you couldn't do it. And when you open your mouth, you got a lot of heat that you ain't see coming. So that's what happened. So in that sense, Shannon Sharpe should have kept his mouth shut. Just should have kept his mouth shut. Don't say nothing because now you're causing an issue. Now you're causing a disturbance. You're there and the players can see you. You're not on your show now. You know, you're on their environment, not in their arena, but you're in their environment. And you're on the Memphis Grizzlies side of the damn stadium. At least get on the LA side of the stadium if you're going to try to talk shit. But nonetheless, he should have just kept his mouth shut. He ran his mouth. He caused a disturbance. You know, you're at the basketball game now, and people can really see you and get at you. So you should need to keep your mouth shut and act like you got some damn sense. But no, you want to try to turn up because people coming at you. Well, if you'd have kept your mouth shut while you was at the game, nobody would have came at you. If you'd have acted like a professional and a man with some sense and kept your mouth shut, you wouldn't have got all the business that you got at the game from the Memphis Grizzlies and the Memphis Grizzlies player family and friends. So that's what happened with Shannon Sharpe. And today he came out with an apology, and he did apologize. So can't get mad at the man for apologizing because he should have apologized. He owed the Memphis Grizzlies an apology. He owed them that because he was at the game. He was instigating, where he should have just kept his mouth shut. Now people try to compare him to Spike Lee. The difference between him and Spike Lee is Spike Lee don't have a daily sports show. Spike Lee goes to the Knicks games. You know what I'm saying? So Spike Lee is known as a Knicks fan, but Spike Lee is not on TV every single day for the last 3-4 years on a show that people can watch and listen to him say what he say. You only hear what he say when he's at the game. You don't see him on the internet or on TV like you do Shannon Sharpe. So it's a difference. It's a difference. That's the difference between Spike Lee and Shannon Sharpe. Okay, I hope people understand that. Shannon Sharpe has a show which lots of people watch. Spike Lee don't have a show, so you can't use that comparison. But anyway, Shannon Sharpe should have apologized, and I'm glad he did apologize. So I got to give Shannon Sharpe some credit for apologizing like he should for running his mouth at that game. For running his mouth at the game last Friday. He apologized for that. I applaud him for that, just for that. He shouldn't have to apologize for what he said on his show, but for what he said on the court Friday, he should have apologized, and he did. So I give him props for that. But that's all I have. Y'all give me your comments. Tell me what you think. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave your comments. Be respectful. I'll be back again. I'm Amin. This is Net to 27. This is my channel. Peace. I'll be back again.